speak about you've been fasting. Congresswoman Richardson just mentioned that she's been fasting.
Yeah, I've been fasting for since our movement on Thursday to occupy the Bank of America Plaza, and the reason why we chose there that day, there are several of us, there are three of us who are fasting. We chose to fast that day and to continue. I've been fasting since then, so we can call attention first to ourselves, our moral complicity in the system and what we've done wrong, for our lack of speaking out and such before this point. We look to get penance for our own transgressions, and we urge Bank of America at the time and all of corporate America to look inward and look at all the transgressions they've had against all society, against the world, and against the population of the world. And we're doing this for our own personal reasons. We're hoping that Bank of America and all the other corporate people responsible for the economic collapse take responsibility and look inward as well.
Now, Mario, let me ask you a couple of things. Number one, there's a rumor that somebody is talking with police regarding shutting this place down.
Well, we've always been in communication with the police since day one. I mean, we've never held that. It's not a rumor. We've always talked to the police. What we have been talking to them is about what we were hoping was to expand, and that's been the major issue. They want us off the South Lawn. That's very clearly, but there's no time frame. And what we've been doing is hopefully making sure that they understand that we're peaceful, we're nonviolent. We've been asking to make sure that the city understands that there are needs here that need to be met. We have been encouraging the city to meet the needs of the homeless that are here. You know, it's one of the major issues they have is that they say, well, there's so many homeless, and we're, there's all these issues of crime they claim. I says, well, listen, we don't have experience at this. We are people. We're citizens. We're activists who decided the Occupy movement to be inclusive and not exclusive. And they, for somehow we should say, sort of take responsibility for the fact that we haven't rejected homeless and we haven't rejected people who normally are rejected by society. I mean, that shouldn't be looked upon us as being a negative. That should be looked at as a positive. We have been inclusive. We've tried to get people involved in our activism, and the whole point is that when the city claims that we haven't done enough for this issue, the reality is we're an organization that has 50 days, yet we've done more in 50 days than the whole city has done in 100 years to deal with this issue. We had a Human and Health Services fair. We're encouraging the city to open up its shelters early. Don't wait to the winter. Open it now. Open your shelters now and allow the homeless to be in there. That is one issue that the city can accomplish right now. We're not going to shut down. We're going to continue to move this thing forward. It might take different forms, but this movement will not shut down. It's going to continue to operate.
May I ask you, there's a rumor that some money was lost here?
As far as I know, in a movement like this where you have people coming in and out, there was, I believe, a small amount of money that was lost at the resource tent. It's unfortunate. This is the city we live in, but that should not sort of deflect from the real issues at hand. The real issues at hand is how many millions of dollars have been lost, billions of dollars by corporate America has been stolen from our pocketbooks and given to corporate America. That's the real question, not whether a couple $100 were lost here or there.
Yeah. Could you talk about the direction of Occupy Los Angeles? It seems, and the rumor has it that Occupy Los Angeles becomes a directionless occupation right now. Could you talk about the direction of
a directionless?
Yeah, a direction that doesn't occupation that doesn't have any direction. Can you talk about?
I would beg to differ. I think we have had a direction. We've had I think our occupation, with all due respect to other occupations, we've been morally centered. We are focused on nonviolence. We're focused on direct action. Obviously, some people have criticized us because we've decided to open a dialogue with the establishment to make sure that they don't come in and stop this occupation. I mean, you know, if that's a mistake that we made, then I own that mistake, and everybody who was involved in it owned that mistake. The reality is that, you know, we're getting things done. You know, we're putting pressure every time. Right now at Bank of America Plaza, they put this big old green fence on their beautiful property now, and it's lowering their property value. So Brookfield is cutting its own throat when it comes to this whole issue. We're not a directionless group. We're a leader. We're a movement of leaders, not a leaderless movement.
What is your for duration of winter months? As you know, most probably the East Coast is going to have a lot of people, you know, due to the heaviest snows and very cold, frigid weather. They might like be closing down their tents or what have you. But what is your assessment for the winter?
It really is up to everybody. It really is. It's not one individual's choice. You know, I've been here nonstop since day one. I was part of the initial organizing of it, and you know, I don't have really plans to go home. You know, although I think that you know, my family would like to me be home more often, but you know, I'm here for the long haul, and I'm here to make sure that we, at least I do my humble part to make this a better world.
Talk about your outreach.
Well, one of the things we were doing is that we're hoping is that in the next couple of weeks is that we actually spread ourselves out. That we cannot just be here as a movement; it just will become stagnant. But we should go to South Central Los Angeles, East LA, where I'm from, the Valley, the West Side, the ports. We need to spread out and bring this message, and so that it really becomes a mass movement and not just a movement where people come here. We have to increase that movement, and we have to go out to where the people are at. So what I'm hoping for is that will be happening in the next days, if not weeks, and we're going to do that. And the thing is, we want to put the street heat on these banks in every neighborhood. If every neighborhood was for one day occupy a particular bank, imagine the impact it would have. Not for a whole day, for a few hours, but just the impact it would have. Because we got to start putting the street heat on these corporations and make the film not just here, but everywhere.
So you're taking occupation to all the cities?
We're taking it to the city in general, and the city proper, and the county as well. And then we'll spread out from there. I mean, Occupy LA, for all intents and purposes, become Occupy Southern California. This is where people from other parts of the city come here to ask for direction, come here to bring, and we send activists out there to help them as well. Our resources as much as we can.
Give me your last words. What are your hopes, aspirations?
Our hopes and aspirations is that, one, as a people, we decide to stand up and have our voices be heard. That we understand that organizing is not easy, but it's the only way we're going to get anything done in this country. We need to be able to empower ourselves and empower our community, empower our families to make a difference in this world. And that's the only way we're going to do it. And Occupy LA movement and the Occupy movement in general has been a school of sorts for activists and organizers. What's going to happen here is we're going to have thousands upon thousands of organizers across this country now who are fully trained on how to do movements like this. And I fear for the right wing, for the extreme right wing and their ideologues, because now people are organized, now people are trained, and we're not going to be as easily fooled as in the past. And this movement's going to only spread large and large and large.
What do you want the people out there to do for you or for the occupation?
Well, one of the things that we're asking people, Thanksgiving is a time to be with family, but it's also a time of overconsumption. And we're asking people one day, I'm fasting for 10 days, I'm asking people to fast for one day Thanksgiving and bring that food to the most needy in your community. Do what is necessary to help people. You don't need to overeat a pie, turkey, mashed potatoes. You can give that to the needy. And we ask one more thing. In the spirit of human solidarity, refrain from purchasing anything on Friday.